All right, 49er fans, it is that time of the week. We're going to jump into the latest San Francisco 49ers news and rumors here on our Chat Sports 49ers Report page. And as always with our Niners, I say it like every single day, there's a lot going on. There's some fun stuff to go ahead and dive into. Let's start with this. Patrick Peterson, yes, that Patrick Peterson, the former 8-time Pro Bowler, reportedly will not be re-signed by the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals have a lot of cap space issues, a lot of good players, but cap space is a problem. And it looks like he's going to be a free agent and available to go ahead and sign. Now, 30 years old, dealt with some injuries this past year, but still, I mean, like an all-pro, 8 Pro Bowls, and guess what the big need in San Francisco is this year? We keep saying it. It's cornerback. Could the Niners go ahead and make a run at Patrick Peterson? There is rumors that could potentially be a possibility. The money there is going to be a little bit interesting. More on that here in just a second. But the fact that Patrick Peterson is going to be leaving, the team he's been with almost my entire life, it feels like, the Arizona Cardinals, maybe get out of the division is good news for San Francisco. Here is the official tweet that started the announcement that they're not going to go ahead and re-sign him. Per source, the Arizona Cardinals and former All-Pro cornerback Patrick Peterson are parting ways, barring a significant change in stances. Peterson, 30, has enjoyed 8 Pro Bowls and 3 first-team All-Pro campaigns. That's being drafted number 5 overall in the 2011 NFL Draft. Again, an elite cornerback when healthy. This is a guy who's going to shadow the best receiver on the football field for all 60 minutes of an NFL game. When you look at his 2020 stats, yes, he did get 3 interceptions and really 5 total touchdowns, a couple of scoop and scores as well. But he did have suffered from some injury problems and wasn't on the football field for an entire 16 games. And that's been the problem with aging cornerbacks. That's Richard Sherman, right? I mean, Sherman, 33, was not able to stay on the football field in San Francisco as well. Sherman, if you re-sign him, is a lot cheaper than Patrick Peterson, but you can argue Patrick Peterson's a little bit better. There's some other news in terms of cornerbacks. A.J. Boye was let go by the Denver Broncos, who suddenly freed up a lot of cap space. I don't know. They're going to go for a quarterback. Who really knows? Producer Sam runs our Bronco channel at Chat Sports. You never know. Maybe they're going to go quarterback, maybe not. So there are some options here to go ahead and grab a veteran aging cornerback. My thought on this, though, I'd rather keep Richard Sherman. As long as Richard Sherman does not want some ridiculous, 2-year massive extension where you're going to pay him way more than he's worth. Because, listen, we respect Sherman. He's a good football player, but he is 33, 34, 35 for the next 2 years of a contract. If he gives us a decent deal, I'd rather have him than Patrick Peterson because he knows the system, he's a proven leader, and he understands the entire defense that he has. You bring in Patrick Peterson, and he's got to kind of learn the defense and learn to play around the guys they have in San Francisco. I'm not saying he's not a leader. I'm not saying he's worse than Sherman. I think he's a little bit better. But in terms of money-wise, a little bit cheaper to keep Richard Sherman. I'd rather keep him than Patrick Peterson. But I would not be one of those guys who would complain if they signed Patrick Peterson. Maybe, how about both, right? Maybe a taco commercial back in the day. Why not both? I'd like both, although the problem is that both would be very expensive. And right now the Niners have $20, $21 million in cap space, and they got to re-sign people. So is it a pipe dream? Probably. We got to at least, announce that the Cardinals might not be able to have Patrick Peterson, which is good news for Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. Okay, pin comment down below. What do you guys think? Who would you rather have? Who would you rather sign this offseason? Would you rather have Patrick Peterson or Richard Sherman? Type RS for Richard Sherman. Type PP. Listen, stop it. There'll be a chat. Type PP down below for Patrick Peterson. Pin comment in the video when it's posted a little bit later on. All right, let's go and jump into the Carson Wentz segment, at least the quarterback portion of our show, as we always talk about potential future quarterbacks. All right, so there have been some conflicting reports here saying the Niners have at least called to inquire with Philadelphia about, of course, Carson Wentz and his availability. Now, everything I have heard based on Carson Wentz and the Eagles is the Eagles are looking for a Matthew Stafford-like return, meaning at least a first-round draft pick plus a player, or a first-round draft pick and maybe a second-round draft pick as well. Now, when it comes to Carson Wentz in terms of is he a good quarterback, is he not, that's widely debated right now, not just the national media, locally as well. The question really is, would it be a good fit and a good upgrade for San Francisco? Now, as I said, there are some conflicting reports on did they make a call about Wentz? Did they not make a call about Carson Wentz? There's a reporter with 105 The Fan in Dallas, one of the top radio stations in the country. He had someone just tweet at him. So it says, you mentioned San Francisco should be in the conversation for Carson Wentz. Are you hearing things, or is this just your thought process? From a diehard Niner fan, from Josh. Now, Brian says, heard you're in. Now, what does in mean, right? Does in mean like heard you are in the running, like you're legit trying, or heard you are hitting the phone call and, John Lynch is saying, hey, what's the price of Carson Wentz? And the Eagles say it's this. And then John Lynch goes, no thanks, hangs up. I mean, who really knows? Now, of course, if the Eagles were to go ahead and trade Carson Wentz to the San Francisco 49ers, we'll have it covered here on the channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Big red subscribe button down below. We do live Q&As every Thursday at 6 p.m. And, of course, when breaking news happens, we cover it here on the channel. The debate with Carson Wentz is not, what's the price really? Because I think the price is going to be a first-round draft pick at least. It's more of how good is he. You will go down to 2017, best quarterback in the league. He was better than Tom Brady. He would have won MVP had he not been injured. And then, of course, you move up and down, 21 touchdowns in 2018. Thought he played really well in 2019 with lawn chairs and office furniture as wide receivers. I mean, they were terrible in Philadelphia 2 years ago. But this past year, the real issue, 15 interceptions, took a league high in sacks, and overall regressed a lot more than a lot of people in Philadelphia thought that he would. So, again, the question is, do the Niners think that Wentz is better than Jimmy Garoppolo? Now, right now, maybe not. With the quarterback whisperer that Kyle Shanahan is, and, of course, the young potential star power that Carson Wentz has, I don't know if I would be too upset if the Eagles went ahead and made this trade. You got to make sure you're not giving up too much. I would sure as heck not give up 2 first-round draft picks. If you're going to give 2 first-round draft picks, just give up 3 first-round draft picks, add 1 more, and go ahead and get Deshaun Watson, who has a much better recent career than Carson Wentz. But if you get him for 1 first-round draft pick and maybe just like a mediocre player, it's something to definitely go ahead and keep an eye on. I know a lot of people are going to poo-poo Carson Wentz because he had a really bad season, but I still think he has a lot left in the tank and has a lot higher ceiling than Jimmy Garoppolo. As we mentioned earlier, what do you guys think? Who would you rather have, Jimmy Garoppolo or Carson Wentz right now? And, of course, in the future as well. I mean, this is like the Sam Darnold argument, too. Darnold right now is probably worse than Jimmy Garoppolo, but how much better is Darnold in 5 years than Jimmy Garoppolo? How much better is Carson Wentz in 5 years than Jimmy Garoppolo? Who would you guys rather have? JG for Jimmy Garoppolo, CW for Carson Wentz down below. Now, the betting odds are interesting right now. You're probably thinking, Thomas, like, why throw up a Bet US graphic? There are no sports to bet on. Are you crazy? The NFL offseason. You've got the NFL offseason right now. Chatsports.com/49bet. Use that promo code Niners125 for 125% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up. Per Bet US and the Vegas odd makers right now, it doesn't look good for the Niners. You see the odds for Carson Wentz on your screen. The Bears are the favorites. The Colts are right there as Nick Sirianni and the Colt connection with Frank Reich. Philadelphia coming back. Maybe he stays. Who knows? Denver plus 700. I don't think Washington. They would not trade him in the division. The Niners are then back below Washington. So the odds aren't great. So for all you people commenting saying we don't want Carson Wentz, I understand. But, we got to keep an eye on things in terms of potential trades at the quarterback position. All right, let's move over to Todd McShay's first mock draft, as he does like 12 of these by the time we go ahead and get to April. And it's a very interesting thing. So, yes, you take Trevon Moehrig, the safety out of TCU. We'll discuss him in a second. It's more the fact that he is the Niners trading down from number 12 back to 20 with the Bears, picking up some additional picks and then going with a safety instead of a cornerback. Now, I have given you guys my overall needs for the 49ers, and I don't have safety that high. I mean, Jaquiski Tartt's a free agent. Maybe you resign him, maybe you don't, but safety to me is not a massive overall need for the 49ers. The real question is, what does it look like to trade back from number 12 to go ahead and get to, let's say, number 20. Also, quickly, Patrick Surtain and Caleb Farley were gone at 12. Like, obviously, you take them if they're there, but they were gone, so trade back. So here's what McShay's San Francisco-Chicago trade would look like. So just a hypothetical trade back. Bears get 12 overall. Maybe they come up for a quarterback. Who knows? The 49ers get 20 overall. They get a 2021 second. And then he also says either a first in 2022 or a second in 2022. I doubt you make 2 first-round draft picks out of this. I think you get a first this year, a second next year, and a second or a third. Sorry, first this year, second this year, for a second or third in 2022. So I don't know about a first in 2022, but as just an example, this is what trading back could potentially go ahead and look like if you were the 49ers and you were not feeling comfortable with all the options there at 12. And we talked about this before, right? If Surtain is gone, if Farley is gone, if J.C. Horn is gone, if the pass rusher, Gregory Rousseau is gone, then maybe you do trade back. But this is an example of what it could potentially look like if you are the 49ers. Would you guys make this trade? Like right now, straight up. Let's just say no Surtain, no Caleb Farley. Do you do this trade? Type Y down below for yes, type N down below for no. I want to see what you guys think in the comments section. Now, who did they have McShay have been drafting? Just get you guys up to date on some names. You want to learn these names as you get closer to the draft. Trevon Moehrig, of course, the safety out of TCU. Great player. I mean, I think he's a little bit undersized in terms of being a safety in the National Football League, but the ball skills are definitely there. 33 games, 7 interceptions, 21 pass breakups. He's really good in overall coverage, which you look for, filling in for Jaquiski Tartt. And when you look at some other players available, the real question is, who would you rather have? You want J.C. Horn? You want Kwity Paye? How about Samuel Cosmi? I think they say the last name, the Texans guy. I would rather have J.C. Horn because I think cornerback is a bigger need, but this mock draft is not taking into account which of the 5 free agents at cornerback the 49ers were going to go ahead and re-sign before you get to the NFL draft. So it's McShay's first crack at it. He's going to update this. I think he is going to have some drafts where the 49ers stay at number 12, but they can trade back. And a lot of people ask me what it would look like if they did trade back in there. Essentially is an example. And that's why we bring it up to you guys here on our 49ers news and rumors. Grade the pick, though, right? If this was the actual pick of the 49ers, give it a grade. Grade McShay's pick here at number 20, A, B, C, D, or F. Probably B minus, C plus. I don't know. I'm not thrilled about safety in the first round. But safety in the later rounds. I think you can kind of cheat on safety a little bit and make it a kind of a later round draft pick, second or third round versus taking a first round pick. I want a corner. I want it now. And you guys know that, but give me your grade on it down below. Hey, final little bit of I don't know if this is news, all right? So first off, the news part of this is that the 49ers have re-signed Josh Rosen. Of course, they brought him over from the, he was technically with Tampa Bay practice squad, and then they signed him from the Tampa Bay practice squad. So no Super Bowl, or maybe he gets a Super Bowl ring. I don't really know. But the Niners have officially signed him. He will be on the active roster in 2021. He will compete with Josh Johnson for the backup quarterback job. And there are some people out there who think Josh Rosen should be the starting quarterback. Like, they don't sign anybody in the offseason. They don't trade for Carson Wentz. You have a good old quarterback battle between Josh Rosen and Jimmy Garoppolo, and you make him the starter, which is, to me, a little ridiculous. We'll talk about that in a second. First off, you guys think Josh Rosen should be the backup quarterback in 2021, right? Nick Mullins a free agent, CJ Beathard a free agent. If you think he should be backup quarterback type, or not type, give this video a thumbs up right now. Like the video in the comment section. I like him as a backup. I'm fine with backup. It's starter where I start to get a little a little iffy here. Let's go to get to the comments. So this comes from a good friend, Grant Cohn at SI.com, who he's not reporting anything. He's giving his take on what should happen with Josh Rosen. Listen to this. Quote, make him, that's Rosen, compete head-to-head during training camp for the starting job with Josh Rosen, the 10th pick of the 2018 draft. Rosen is only 24. He's younger, hungrier, healthier, more mobile, and has a stronger arm than Jimmy Garoppolo. Goodness gracious. Okay, next clip. He says Rosen's a real talent. Garoppolo beats him out. Good for him, but he won't. Rosen will win the competition because he's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, that's from Grant Cohn, SI.com. So there's a lot of things wrong with that, right? I mean, do we know that Josh Rosen is hungrier? Do we know that he's better? Does he have a better arm talent overall? Here's the deal with Josh Rosen. Yes, you can go back to 2018 and say, oh, he was the 10th overall draft pick. He's a first-round quarterback. That means he's great. What has he done since? Had a chance in Arizona, blew it. Had a chance in Miami, blew it. He couldn't even make the backup quarterback job behind Tom Brady, which was held by, wait for it, the elite quarterback that is Blaine Gabbert. He couldn't even make the starting roster in Tampa Bay. He was the literal practice squad quarterback. So you think Rosen's just going to waltz in with all this experience and beat out Jimmy Garoppolo, who understands the Kyle Shanahan system? No, it's not going to happen. This is dumb. If I was Jimmy Garoppolo and I rode into training camp and it was me and Josh Rosen and Josh Johnson as the three quarterbacks on the 49ers team, and they said, guess what? Open competition, good luck against Josh Rosen. One, I'd be a little offended because I'm Jimmy Garoppolo and I led the team to the Super Bowl. And two, do you really think Josh Rosen's going to beat me out? It's not going to happen. This is ridiculous. But we bring it up because, it's fun here on the 49ers Report. What do you guys think? What's the percent chance that Josh Rosen wins the starting job this offseason? 0 to 100%. And why is it 0? Give me, seriously, what is this? 1%? 2%? I mean, goodness gracious. This is just not going to happen. Not going to happen. Okay, move on quickly. There have been some 49er coaching changes that have been made official. You see all these ones on your screen right now. You go, okay, who's this Butch Barry? Who's this Leonard Hankinson? Chris Forrester. That's the name to think about. Do you know who Chris Forrester is? Because I didn't put two and two together. Producer Sam thought about this. Chris Forrester, the new Niner O-line coach, was the Miami Dolphin cocaine coach. Yes, he was the one, the snowball coach, the one who was literally doing the lines in the Dolphins facility, and he got fired. You remember him? Google it. Maybe you don't, but just Google Chris Forrester. It'll pop right up. That is the Niner offensive line coach. So, I'm all for second chances. I didn't think the guy would come back in the National Football League based on everything that happened to him. But, here's some other coaches. Clay Kubiak. It's Gary Kubiak's son. He's a defensive quality control coach. That's kind of cool. Kubiak, a coach, Super Bowl champion with the Denver Broncos, also with the Houston Texans. But, the Forrester guy, that's I'm surprised no one else in the media has put two and two together. Maybe I'm wrong here. We did the research. That's who that is. There are all your names here, all your assistant guys. Maybe eventually some of these guys become new offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. Best of luck to them. But I thought that was interesting. I want to share that with you guys here on our 49ers Report live 49ers Report news and rumors for today.